Engelbright in studio this morning to talk about everything sports. It's the Sideline Report on your hometown radio station, WPKY, The Tiger. And good morning at 9:04. Welcome to the Sideline Report here on your hometown radio station, WPKY, The Tiger. Ty Engelbright and Todd Griffin in studio. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ty. Another busy week.
Another busy week, but a good week.
It is a good week. We've got tennis championships to talk about. We've got a Game 7 in Smashville tonight. The new football alignment has finally been finalized. And also, I need quiet in the studio, please.
Quiet in the studio.
Now on the Sideline Report, 2013 U.S. Amateur Champion, 2015 NCAA Individual Champion, Emma Talley.
Hello.
All right. Yes, we're big time on the Sideline.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for
Emma,
having me.
We were just talking before you came on that it's a busy week for you, even though you're supposed to be off this week.
Yeah, the off weeks are even harder than the weeks that I'm playing. There's all the behind the scenes work to do. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week, but a busy week, and it's a blessing that I'm busy. It's a good busy.
Well, first of all, congratulations on qualifying for the U.S. Open.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know that's big.
Huge, yes.
And it's going to be on basically your home course in Birmingham or Shoal Creek.
Yes, yes. I'm very excited. I told the reporters after I made the putt on the playoff hole that I was more nervous then than I was at the national championship. That putt,
wow.
Same length, almost the same putt. They were both right to left, but I was a nervous wreck, and I don't know if it's because when you're playing to win a tournament, you're either going to win or lose. But whenever you're trying to qualify to get somewhere, it just is a different feeling. And I've never wanted to play in a U.S. Open more than I do at Shoal Creek. I mean, I know that course really well. I know how they're basically going to set it up. I've been out there for 2 years straight. I played regional tournament in Alabama, so I'm really excited.
Well, when you go into a qualifier like that, and you know there's 4 spots, do you play a little different? Is the mindset a little different going in?
Not really. You just try to be patient. You know there's a lot of birdies out there, but there's also some really tough holes that you just got to make par and get out. But it was a weird day. I played really bad the first 18. My score wasn't as bad as it should have been. I shot one over and honestly thought I was going to have to shoot 5 or 6 under the second round, and thankfully I didn't.
I was going to say 73 is not really bad.
It's bad for a qualifier.
But then you birdied your last hole, right, to get in the playoff.
Yeah, I didn't know what the scores were, but I actually thought that was going to be one out. I missed a 3-footer on my 15th hole of the second round, downhill slider, and I thought that was kind of it for me. I knew I had a few holes left, but I was like, I got to birdie the next 3 in a row, and I didn't. I only birdied one more, and I was kind of shocked to see that I was in a playoff, but it was a good surprise.
Yeah, good. Well, one of the things, I would like to know, and maybe everybody else would too, we all see you play Thursday through Sunday on TV, but if you would take us through a typical week, because I know it's not just, as you mentioned, it's not just the golf. There's a lot more to it.
It's crazy. So usually you finish a tournament on Sunday, and you'll get finished around 4 o'clock. You throw your clubs in a suitcase, and then you're off to the airport and get on the airport. Monday morning is usually my relaxing morning, but I get to go work out, of course. And then Monday afternoon, I usually play 9, and because I'm a rookie, sometimes I get in the Pro-Ams and sometimes not on Wednesday. So Tuesday's a practice round and a Pro-Am dinner at night, so that day's packed. Wednesday's Pro-Am, and usually I have Bible study once a week, so usually that's that night. And then wake up on Thursday, play, and then you're back doing the same thing on Monday morning.
Well, you mentioned the Pro-Am. Is that something that's advantageous to play in, or is that just another?
It's just kind of another thing. You got to have your face on. It's usually for all the sponsors of the tournament.
Okay.
So you sometimes get in, sometimes you don't. I personally like them. I like people, and as a rookie, I don't know all the courses, so that'll be an advantage next year. I won't have to play quite as many practice rounds as I am this year because I'll know the courses already. So as a rookie, you play a lot more golf than you want.
Well, I saw that in one of the stories where I think it was one of your friends in Golf Week maybe, where she had said we thought we played a lot of golf in college, but we didn't realize until we got to
a lot of my friends, it's crazy. They want to turn pro early, and kudos to them, but I'm so thankful I didn't go. I mean, you don't realize how much the coaches do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but you think you're so busy. yeah, it's nothing compared to what I'm doing now. You play golf. In fact, this past Monday was my first day off in 2 months. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, it's just a whole different ball game. But it's my job now, and that's what people do when they work.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it looked like it was going to be some time off for you, but it really wasn't that much time
Yeah.
off.
Last week I got some time off. I slept for a couple of days and watched TV, which was unlike me, but it was nice. And then this week's kind of busy, but trying to get geared up I leave Sunday again, so trying to get geared up, so it's all right.
Well, and you mentioned, or we talked about the Golf Week thing, and of course Golf Channel, I think, followed you around in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. How do those things come about, and how much time does the media take from you? How much interview time? And surely there's always somebody waiting for you when you come off the course.
Yeah, it's been, especially the last couple of days, I've probably had maybe 15 interviews in the last 2 days. I try to do all of them, and I can't, but my agent's really good at helping me out with that, kind of organizing what I need to do, what I don't need to do. And but like I said, I try to do all of them, especially since it's at Shoal Creek. I want to say yes to everyone I can. So, yeah, the media takes up a lot of time, but that only means one thing. That means you're playing well. So, yes. I would love in another year or two to have a list of people I need to get to. So, media is a good thing.
Well, how did the opportunity in San Francisco come about?
Well, I think I'm one of the loud ones out there. I like to travel. I really like all the players out there. So I wouldn't say I'm friendly, but I kind of know everyone, and I like to talk to everyone. And I like to every week. They kind of found out that every week I try to do something fun in the city I am in, and it takes some planning because, like you just heard, my schedule is pretty busy. But I at least try to take a couple hours to do something fun. And then the girl that I was with, she's like one of my best friends out on tour. And they kind of found out that we did that, and so they wanted to be a part of it.
Wow. And that's a relationship that goes back, I guess, to the junior tour.
Yeah.
I mean, you play with these other girls growing up, and then even though you're at different colleges, you still see them, and now you're right back together again.
It's like the junior tour all over again. Add a few European players that I didn't know, and that's about it. Even a lot of the Korean and Asian girls have been playing with me since I was in junior golf, so... Yeah, it's pretty crazy how it is. Everyone's like, oh, how are the girls? I'm like, it's the same group of kids.
Yeah.
We're just all doing it together. So it's pretty cool to kind of grow up and see all of us together doing making our dreams come true.
How crazy is it, though? And you mentioned earlier about doing a photo shoot this week. I mean, those kind of things pop up.
Yeah, it was fun. That was my first actual, photo shoot where they do your hair and makeup. And it was a 6 a.m. till 4 p.m. day. And I never thought modeling was that intense, but they make you do the same thing over and over, and they take I asked them how many pictures they took. They took 4,000 pictures.
Oh, wow.
They're trying to get 15 out of those 4,000 that they like. So it's crazy, but it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I really like the camera crew and stuff, so it was fun.
Is that for a story or an ad?
That's going to be for a catalog, for posters, it's for their 2019 collection. So, yeah, I told them, I said, now Princeton, Kentucky is going to want some of these catalogs, so I'll have some of them. I told everybody they'll be at my dad's.
I took one for a second because it holds heat in. It's hot in here, but I had a quick question, if you don't care. I was talking to your dad. It's pretty interesting about how you're housed. You might tell people about the housing on the tour, because it's pretty interesting. Not people they think you're probably jumping hotel to hotel. But it's not quite like that, is it?
Some girls do that. For me, for expense purposes and because I like people, I oftentimes get host families. So I basically bounce around from house to house with different families. You get different people every week. Sometimes you get a young family with kids. Sometimes you get an older family that's part of the course. And I love it. It's really fun, and you basically make friends for a lifetime. I still keep up with some of the families that I stayed with a couple years ago on the Symetra tour. So, it's a really cool aspect of the tour life, I guess.
Well, that was one thing I was going to ask, is some of the differences between the Symetra tour and now you're on the LPGA tour. Yeah,
you're just a lot busier. I mean, for me, probably the biggest thing would be we start on Thursdays every single week rather than Fridays, because most of our tournaments were start on Fridays on the Symetra tour. And this one extra day, is difficult.
Oh, yeah.
That was hard for me. And flying. I was driving my own car every week, and now I'm flying every week. There's good and bads to those. I really like being able to just. It's hard to get your bag under 50 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Just stuff like that, you worry about. But like I said, it's been a huge blessing. I love it.
Well, it's all over the country, too. You were on the West Coast, and next week is in Virginia. Is that right?
Yep. We did West Coast, and now we're kind of doing Midwest, East Coast, and then we go overseas to Europe for a couple weeks, and we go to Asia at the end of the year for 7 weeks. So, it's not just in the country; it's worldwide.
Well, the Kings Mill Championship, that's the one coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about that tournament or that golf course?
They say that's one of the best tournaments of the year. We get to go to ride roller coasters at Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens, I think.
Where, in Tampa?
No,
Virginia. They go
Virginia,
Virginia.
yeah.
I'd say I got a Busch Gardens over
So we get to do that, which will be fun. And I'm staying with a family that lives on the golf course, and it'll be a really fun week. I think I have some family coming down for that one, so I'm looking forward to it. They say the course is awesome. They say it's hard to walk, so maybe I'll get some extra calories burned.
That's something else when you play in a qualifier for the U.S. Open. It's 36 holes, and you're walking that whole time.
And that course was so hilly. I felt so bad. At my caddy, I forgot to bring a carry bag, so he had my big staff bag for 37 holes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It was a wild day.
Sounds like it.
Well, you've had a great start on the LPGA Tour this year. 2 top 10s. What is it, $119,000 in winnings so far, which is great. I guess, are you close enough yet to making enough money to keep your card for next year?
Ask Dan Talley. He knows all the stats on that. I think he told me I'm just a couple $1,000s out of, like, basically pretty much I'd be securing. I think I have already.
Okay.
But
that's great.
I have a lot of goals this year, so I've achieved some of them, and there's many more that I want to achieve. So, yeah, long season ahead.
Yeah. Well, what would you like to do?
Well, the Solheim Cup is next year, so I really would like to play well enough to try to have a chance at that. And then the Olympics is in Japan in, I guess, 3 more years. I would love to have a chance at that. And I would love to have some more top 10s, maybe get a win. My long-term career goal is to win a U.S. Open because I'd be the only one person to win the 3.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that would be pretty cool. So I have a lot of goals. One of my smaller goals is just to make birdies on par 5s. I have goals that are very small, and then I have goals that are very big. I want to, so there's a lot of different kind of goals I have for my career and then in the next couple of years.
Well, when you approach a tournament each week, are you going in that I'm going to win this? Or are you just trying to make the cut? Or play well, or?
If you try to make the cut, you're probably going to finish 60th. Yeah. And I don't try to win either because that just puts too many expectations on yourself, and you start freaking out when you don't make birdies. So basically, I've just been trying to go in and practice hard during the practice rounds, and then just be patient because most weeks, the people that win the tournaments are shooting 3 or 4 under every day. They're not shooting 8 under, 2 under. They're shooting pretty much just a couple under every day. And my boyfriend actually caddies on tour. And after Hawaii, I missed the cut in Hawaii, and we kind of had a long conversation on the plane ride back. And I said, I'm just so frustrated. He said, just realize you can shoot just a couple under every day and get a top 10. So I've kind of changed my mindset a little bit on the golf course and just realized patience is huge out there.
Well, and there's such a fine line between playing well or scoring well, which is the main thing. Even when you finish in the top 10, you go back and look, a shot or two here or there could have made the difference.
Exactly.
And a couple of places are, $10,000.
Exactly. In Australia, I kind of messed up the last hole, and my dad laughed. He said, well, that stroke cost you $30,000. But you can't think like that either. We were kind of laughing about it, but you can't think like that. And I just try to go out there and play my best golf. And, like you said, every stroke counts now. Used to, it did count, but now I see I see it a little more. And I just have to realize I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. And I go out there every day and try to do my best. So kind of just have that mindset throughout the week. But I will say every stroke counts now for sure. And 1 stroke a day is 4 strokes at the end of the week.
Yes.
And that's huge.
Well, and golf is such a weird game and such a difficult game that it's tough to play well every week.
Exactly. And that's probably another thing I learned from college to pro golf. So different. Because in college, you would play a tournament, have a couple weeks off, play another tournament, have a week off, play another tournament. Now, it's you play golf, you may play really well, and then the next week you just don't feel as good. You may be tired,
Right.
you may not, your back may be sore, who knows. So I've had to learn how to play when my game's not solid, and that's been a change too. Sometimes my swing feels off, but I still got to play and figure out how to score. So, like this past tournament, where was I? In San Francisco. My back was sore the whole week. I was having trouble, and that was a bigger accomplishment for me than the week before in LA. I wanted to play better in LA. In San Francisco, I was really proud of myself for making the cut and then playing well on the weekend because I was not feeling good the whole week.
You were battling.
Yeah, so that was a bigger accomplishment actually for me than the week before.
Well, do you have times where it feels like your swing's just not there?
Oh, yeah.
And how much do you get to talk with your swing coaches or the guys in Paducah? And
yeah, I'm still with Todd Trimble out of the golf complex. Been with him now for 14 years, and he's great. I actually had the bunker yips. I made in L.A. and the tournament before Hawaii. I made 4 doubles out of greenside bunkers.
Oh.
And so there, you can see how I was a little upset.
I was a little worried when she said she had the bunker yips. I was getting ready. Where do I get vaccinated for that?
Yeah, it was bad. I needed something. I wish I could take a shot for that. But I called my coach, and it's amazing how good he is because I called him and told him what was going on, and he said, "What's it sound like?" And I told him, and he fixed me in 5 minutes. So he told me what to do. I got in the bunker, tried it out, it worked. So it's really nice to have someone that knows your game because they can help just by, put the phone by the ball, and he can kind of know what I'm doing.
Well, he can see your swing, and when you're playing, you can't really see your swing.
Right.
Although I'm guessing by feel.
We tape a lot. Well, we tape our swings on the phone a lot, too.
Oh, wow.
We do that. I probably do that at least once a day. And he doesn't get all the videos, but I kind of know my own swing, too, from college, being away. So between me, my coach, my caddy, boyfriend, all of us kind of are a team, and we kind of try to figure out golf.
Well, has your swing or your game changed any? Did it have to, going from college to pros?
No, not at all. And I think that's one thing that a lot of girls have told me in the past that they messed up on, and I kind of try to put that in my brain for the future. They said a lot of girls try to change their swing when they get out, or change their game once they get on tour, and that's when they deflate and they're not as good. So I like where my game is, and I'm just trying to get better on the things I need to get better on.
Well, I think sometimes everybody gets caught up in hitting the ball a little farther.
Yeah, you can't do that. Fairways are good.
Right. Just those pesky par 5s.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, just a fine line, though, between playing well and scoring well and not. And the higher the level you go, the tougher it gets.
Yeah, it's mainly a short game. At the level I'm at now, we all hit the ball pretty much the same when we're playing well. And when we're playing bad, honestly, if 2 players are playing bad, we'll probably look the same. So we all hit the ball pretty much the same. I'd say some girls may hit whatever, but it comes down to a short game.
Yeah.
I mean,
it really is
the
drive
girl,
for show and putt for dough.
Yeah, it is. You have to have the long game to get to up there to have a chance to win. But once you're in the top about 20, there's, like you said, there's a very fine line. Half a shot here, half a shot there,
3
stroke
putts
there.
are bad.
Yeah, no, you can't 3-putt. No, can't 3-putt anymore.
Well, when you go into a tournament or go to a new golf course, are there certain type of courses that fit your game better than others? Or are there some courses you play where you're like, I'm going to tear it up this week?
Yeah, for sure. There's sometimes I go in and I'm like, wow, this golf course fits my eye. And then the next week I'm like, whoa, I'm ready to get out of here. But I try to stay positive because people sometimes ask me, they're like, do you like the course? I'm like, I'll tell you on Sunday if I liked it. Because it really depends on, my dad will ask me that every week, how you like the course? And I tell him, well, my game feels good, so I liked it, or my game feels a little off, so I think it's going to be hard. So I think it's mainly you rather than course, but I do think there's a little bit of, some weeks I do walk up and I think this is it.
Well, if you're more familiar with it, are you more comfortable playing that course?
Yes, in certain aspects, and then I think sometimes it just depends on if you're playing well. I remember Bowling Green Country Club state championship. Me and my dad were the crazies. Yeah. We went up there about every weekend because my brother and sister lived there, and it was easy. So we'd go up there, play, and then we'd eat dinner with them and come home. And but for the state championship, I've won every year because of it, because I knew the golf course so well.
Well, and I think you managed the golf course when you were playing it. While everybody else was hitting driver on every tee,
yeah,
you were putting the ball in spots to
exactly
hit onto the green.
Exactly. So, yeah, to know a golf course, like, that's how I feel about Shoal Creek.
That's where I was going, yeah.
For Shoal Creek, I mean, I feel like I have a little advantage, and I'm going to treat the week the same as I would any other tournament. A lot of people are like, are you going to come down? Are you going to come down? I'm like, I would never go down to a golf course this early because I don't have time anymore. So I'm just going to treat it normal and then use the advantage of knowing the golf course and see how the week goes.
You had to qualify this year for the U.S. Open. What do you have to do that next year you'll be eligible for that already?
I have no idea. I think I'm not sure. It's either you have to be in the top 50 or something at the U.S. Open, or you have to be top 80 on the money list. So I'm always confused. Okay. I'm always looking at the rules trying to figure out, because as a rookie you just don't know stuff, and I ask around, and it's just, in every tournament's different, so it's hard.
I was going to ask you, how much help is your caddy or the guys that are out there on the course that help you keep track of that? Because we know one little thing can cost you a stroke or penalize you. What kind of help do you have in managing the game out there from either folks on the course that are rules, umpires and I guess I don't know what you call them, but the people that make the rules and maintain that? The
rules, I mean, they are just there to officiate if we need help. But my caddy, his name's Jeremy Young. He's been out there for, I think, 18 years, and most rookies don't have good caddies. They have a friend or their dad or someone like that, and they kind of have to prove themselves to get a good caddy. And I was very fortunate enough. I don't really know why he picked me, but I needed a caddy. I had a hard time with caddies. One guy didn't show up, and then the next guy could only do it for a couple of weeks. And then, anyways, Jeremy showed up, and Jeremy's awesome. I've had him since Hawaii, and he's great. Everyone talks about him. If you've seen him on the Golf Channel, they always talk really highly of him. He's really smart. He's a golf nerd. I can say that because I tell him every day.
That's pretty cool.
He is such a golf nerd. I'm like, I don't know anything about golf. I don't watch golf either. I don't know
you don't watch any golf?
No, I don't care. It's like I tell my dad, it's like, are you going to come home from work and watch something on optometry? Like, you don't want to keep doing that. Like,
I mean, I see the point.
Yeah.
But if you lose that caddy, there's one out there named Carl Speckler. I think you ought to look into. He's a pretty good looper.
My cat, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Why not?
He hit the 350-yard 7-iron, right?
I think he did, and he's on peonies. Man, he'll wipe out some peonies, I'm telling you. I've seen him hit a row of peonies like you wouldn't believe.
Well, I was going to ask you exactly how high you have to finish on the money list to get your card next year. Do you know exactly where you need to?
Yeah. So there's conditional status and there's full status, and there's different kind of statuses. But to keep my full card, I need to be like top 100 for next year. Like I said, I think I've already done it. And then, but my goal for this year, one of my other goals was to be top 80, because that's what gets you into Asia events at the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
And the Asia events are kind of a bonus. There's no cut. They fly you over there for free, no expenses.
Oh, wow.
And so you make money every week, no matter if you finish last or, there's no cut, so you make money. So that was kind of my goal from the beginning.
Seems like it keep you busy, though, even more so than you already are.
Oh, yeah. But that's good. Like I said, it's a good busy.
Well, and mentioning busy, you said you had practice later today.
Yes.
Are you playing, is it tomorrow, the thing that at Paxton Park?
Yes. So today I just have a lesson with my coach, and then I'm just going to play and practice after that, and then I'm headed to see my siblings. And then tomorrow, Friday, there's a charity event for Crohn's disease. My coach one of my coaches at the golf complex, along with my trainer that I've been working with since I was 14, they both had Crohn's disease, and they had it really. They got, I don't know how you call it, but they kind of got sick at one point. And they almost both in the same year, a couple years ago, died from it.
Goodness.
One of them was 6 foot tall and got down to 90 pounds.
Oh man.
Anyways, they've been through a lot, and so they started this event, and so it really means a lot to me because they're both here still.
Yes.
And that would have been really upsetting. So it's crazy. I know. And when I started talking about Crohn's disease, it's amazing how many people have it and that you don't know have it. So it's a wonderful event. We're trying to make it bigger. We have 15 teams this year, so hopefully every year it can kind of grow. And Callaway sent some stuff for prizes, so I think it'll get a little better each year.
Right.
Well, do you play one hole with each group or something?
Yeah, I play one hole with each group. I think this year we're going to do it a little different. I think I'm going to stay on the same hole. Last year I kind of, because now that the field's getting bigger, I can't.
It's hard to hop around the course, isn't it?
The first couple of years I was playing 2 holes, 3 holes with every group, and now it's one hole. So, yeah, it's hard to hop around, but we're going to try to get as many holes as we can with the groups. And most of the people I know out there, so it's kind of a reunion, too. I get to see everyone.
Well, that's great.
And that's another thing, just quick, I don't know how long we have, but it just must be incredible to meet the vast number of people and the friendships and the fellowship that you make all over the world now.
Yeah, I know so many people, and it's wild, really. I just got an email from my host family in Australia this morning. I talked to a family I stay with in Michigan who lives in Naples now. I mean, there's so many people that I've met all around the world, and really, if I wanted to go visit anywhere, I think I would have a place to stay or know someone.
It's a big part of who you are. I think you're a people person. You're friendly. And I think just being around you and other, I'm sure you enrich them and they enrich you as well.
It's
so
awesome.
It's a neat thing.
It's really cool. Yeah. It's been a really cool experience, and it is crazy how many people we meet. But I think that's another cool thing about golf in general. Golf's probably one of the only sports that you talk to your competitors and you talk to fans. I mean, in basketball, you're not going to say time out. Let me talk to the people that are watching. So
exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Well, what are some of your more favorite memories of all your time playing golf? I mean, obviously the amateur championship and the NCAA championship, those things are going to follow you forever.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime they introduce you, whether it's on TV or whatever, they mention those two things.
Right. Those two things were huge for me. They got me an agent. They got me exemptions to play in LPGA events, which gave me experience, which gave me, I'm not nervous out there anymore. But I would say a lot of the team events, the Curtis Cup was so fun. That's one of my favorite experiences I've ever gotten to play in. It was the Curtis Cup, and that's another reason I want to play in the Solheim Cup because the Curtis Cup was so fun. The Junior Ryder Cup, Junior Solheim Cup, Cannon Cup, all these team events were so fun. And I think just the process, me and my dad were talking about that the other day. I can't tell you how many times me and my dad have gone to Mineral Mounds or we've just walked 18 holes. And I think just the journey that it's taken to get here, my dad always looks at me and he's like, can you believe what you're doing?
Yeah.
And I can, but at the same time, it's kind of just been a process. It's been a journey. This was kind of my dream, and I knew what it was going to take to get there. And we did it together, and it's really cool.
Well, we really appreciate it. Appreciate taking time. We know you're busy, and I'm glad you could squeeze us in.
No problem.
Well, I mean, I feel privileged after we heard about all the media stuff she goes through. So really, it is.
Thank you.
We're very proud of you. The whole community is, and you know how this community is.
Yes, it's wonderful.
And we love following you. I know the whole community does. We just can't thank you enough for taking the time. We wish you so much success.
Thank you.
Throughout the rest of the tour and wherever the tour and your travels take you.
Thank you. And also thank you to Princeton, Kentucky. I mean, I tell everyone all the time how much support I have and Home of Immortality sign, and they can't believe it how much support I have. So I really appreciate it, and I love hearing from y'all and from the people in Western Kentucky.
Well, I guess our last question would be, what's your favorite wrestler or Marvel movie or favorite middle school principal?
Oh, don't even go there. I'll get in trouble with that one.
Well, he set you up for that one.
He set me up for that one.
I didn't know he was going to ask that one.
He got told that somebody to ask that question.
That was on Twitter.
You could say let's do another one. You could say what your favorite sports writer is. Who's that?
That one will get in trouble too.
No doubt about it. But
I'd say that was Will Brown or Bruce McAllister. Bowser that tweeted that
they're
one.
listening right now because they're blowing my phone up.
Yeah,
So,
one of those two were tweeting at you then.
Oh, my goodness. I graduated high school with both those guys.
You know, that came from Bruce.
Yeah, it had to be. How much do they pay you to say that? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they tell them it costs money now.
Here they come. Here comes the comments. Let's see if we get a comment here from one of those guys. And let's see, Will Brown, she better watch it. So, anyway, it's been a pleasure.
Thank
It
you.
really
Thanks
is.
for having
Best
me,
of
y'all.
luck, and we love following you.
Thank you so much.
All right. You want to take a break?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's talk about our fine sponsors. Thank you so much. Emma Talley, LPGA Tour Professional, and Princeton Hometown Girl. But we've got some new sponsors, Todd, here for the Tiger Talk.
Excellent.
I say Tiger Talk, the Sideline Report. Thank you, Emma. Sideline Report, ABC Finance out on the Princeton Plaza at 62 West. Also, You Ride and Bashir Sawmill. We've got some more coming on as well. And I want to tell you about Dave's Deal of the Week. It's a 2011 Chevy Colorado 4x4, 77,000 miles. This thing's as neat as a pin, and it'd be great for a trip to the lake, long vacations, crew cab. So that's Dave's Deal of the Week. Go out and see David Harden at U-Ride and check that out. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and collect ourselves here on the Sideline Report. Thanks to Emma Talley for being our guest. And we'll be back. You're listening to your hometown radio station, WPKY The Tiger.
Whether it's a new addition to your home, a family vacation, or just keeping up with the bills, let ABC Finance and its friendly staff help you with your needs. ABC Finance can help you get through the tough times and the good times. Whatever life throws your way, ABC Finance can help. So stop by and see Jody, Sarah, or Virginia today at ABC Finance, located on 62 West, the Princeton Plaza in Princeton. Phone 270-365-7444.
Are you looking for a great deal on a quality pre-owned vehicle? If so, then Dave's got a deal for you. It's Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride on Marion Road in Princeton. Come by and test drive Dave's Deal of the Week this week. A 2011 Chevrolet Colorado 4x4 Crew Cab. Dave's Deal of the Week is clean and neat as a pin with only 77,000 miles. It can handle the highway and byways of today's busiest family, from hitting the road on vacation or a trip to the lake. Come test drive Dave's Deal of the Week at U-Ride in Princeton today. Call David Harden at U-Ride 270-365-3018.
All right, we are back on the Sideline Report at 9:36. Todd Griffin, Ty Englebright in studio. And do want to remind everybody, Todd, about Bashir Sawmill. Spring mulch season is here. They've got dark, natural mulch, $25 pickup load. They're there from 7 to 3:30, Monday through Friday. They're located on the Dawson Road, just a half mile past City County Park on the right. Also for buyers of standing timber and timberland as well. So if you have any those kind of needs, give the fine folks at Bashir Sawmill. They've been around here a long time. 270-365-2330. And we certainly appreciate them coming on board and being a part. Hello there.
Hi.
Come on in. You want to join us for a minute?
I just have a quick question for you.
Okay. All right. I'll be there in a second. Todd, take it away. I'll be right back. And we're here on the Sideline Report, and you take it away, and we'll come back. You got something to talk about?
Oh, absolutely. There's
right.
all kinds of stuff to talk about. Like we mentioned when we first came on, there's a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight in Smashville. The Predators and the Jets. That'll be at 7 o'clock on NBC Sports Network. The winner of that game has a quick turnaround because the conference finals will start on Saturday. The winner gets the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 1 of the conference finals is Saturday at 6 o'clock, but just a big game in Nashville. The Predators forcing a Game 7 with a win in Winnipeg the other night, so that'll be big for everyone, that likes to keep up with the hockey teams. Baseball and softball are both scheduled to be at home today for Caldwell County, so if you have a chance, get out to the ballpark. The Tiger baseball team is 18-5. They will be hosting Trigg County today. The Tigers had a big battle with them over there to start the season. Had to come from behind to post a 14-7 victory. I think if you look at some of the original schedules, that game is listed Friday this week, but it's actually today. They moved that game to Thursday, so the Tigers will host Trigg County today at the VFW ballpark. And softball team, now 11-8, will be at home against University Heights Academy this afternoon. So a chance to watch baseball and softball this afternoon at the ballpark.
Yeah, man, and everybody's playing pretty well. And the weather's going to be great for this baseball and softball action. And we're going to carry the baseball game this afternoon.
Okay.
It's hard to do both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but of course, you be sure you follow Todd's tweets. He'll be tweeting out some updates from time to time and be around as well.
Well, for years I've tried to get them to give us a perch right on top of the concession stand.
Yeah.
Because, as you were up there, you could do both games.
You could probably do both games. Hey, here's what's going on the ladies softball field. Here's what's going on in VFW.
Maybe you could do a split screen, and show
help me
softball
out. Yeah,
on one, baseball on the other.
Yeah. Help me out just a little bit.
Okay.
Bob always, when we do the softball games, back to the softball field, he's called it Tilly Field, and I think he's called it maybe something. What's the name of that field? Do we know?
Oh, well, that's an interesting question. I wish I had a definite answer for you.
I don't think he should know.
Here's what I'm going to say. This is my opinion. First of all, when they redid the field and moved the softball team there, because softball used to play their home games at the City County Park.
Okay.
Years ago. They moved their games to the Youth Incorporated Park, which is the Ratliff Park Complex. That's the official name of the entire thing.
Okay.
It gets called the VFW Park, which the VFW ballpark is the big field.
It's the big field with
the
baseball
games. It's not the entire field.
Right.
It's the big field.
Right.
It gets called Legion Park, which it's never been named Legion Park, but I think it's called Legion Park because the Legion is there and the park is by it. So I think you hear a lot of people say at Legion Park, but I don't think it's ever been officially called Legion Park. But to get back to that field, when they moved to that field, I decided it needed a name.
Okay.
So in the newspaper, I started referring to it as Lady Tiger Field.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
That makes sense.
Simple, but,
yes.
Just like Tiger Stadium is Tiger Stadium, that's Lady Tiger Field. However, it's tough for me to keep the name straight sometimes. I want to say that when I was younger, that field was called Pettit Park.
Okay.
And I might be wrong about that.
I think I've heard that tossed around too. And Bob and I have had this conversation, and I think his name was Al Tilley with the plant board. Is
yes,
that right?
And the Tilley field is now the back field.
The very back field.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, the little field, and then of course we've got Oliver Field.
Right. The small part.
Field. Yeah, that's correct. So I'm probably going to go with Lady Tiger Ballpark.
Well, I like Lady Tiger Field.
Lady Tiger Field, yeah.
I like calling it Lady Tiger Field at Ratliff Park.
There you go.
Because it's kind of like Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. So I think I'm going to go with that. Of course, but Bob does the play-by-play when we're over there, and but the field's in great shape.
It does get confusing because
a lot of folks, a lot of history around there.
Yes, it is.
A lot of history. A lot of folks have had parts of that history.
And when you look back, the VFW built the original ball field that was there, the big field.
Mm-hmm.
That was all that was there, was that big field. They originally played youth league games on the big field. I mean, it was an all dirt infield, and they moved the bases. And
let's see what this is. This could be a caller.
They was the only one there. Eventually, they decided that they needed a smaller field for the youth teams to play on, and so that's where the settle field came in. And eventually, the entire ballpark complex kind of grew up around that with tennis courts and everything. So, there was never one game plan to design the whole ballpark complex. It just kind of grew up organically as each field came along. So what kind of information do you have for us, Ty?
That was Luke Tyree. He said, well, the first ballpark was actually up Mechanic Street there.
That's true.
And it was, yeah. And I said, yes, we're aware of that. And certainly appreciate him telling us about that. And I don't know what that was called, but that's where some of the first baseball games were played in this area, I think.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it was just up the street, basically, yeah.
So I tell you, it's we're down the stretch run here, this finals of the season, and it's going to be exciting to see where our teams finish up.
Well, yeah, next week is the final week of the regular season for baseball and softball, and then you begin the district tournaments the next week and the regional tournaments the following week, and the end of the season is here for the Tiger baseball team. It's a lengthy district championship streak is on the line. They've won 6 straight 7th district championships. They've won 2 straight 2nd region championships. There's a lot coming up. The Tigers want to get back to Lexington,
And things seem to be tightening up. There's a lot of, it seems like some of these teams, as the season has come along, it's not going to be a cakewalk for any of these teams to make it through the district or region. They're going to have to play well.
Well, again, for the Tigers, everybody's gunning for you.
Yeah.
you kind of win that first one, and I think that year the Tigers thought they were pretty good, but I'm not sure anybody else gave them quite as much credit going into that one. Last year it was a case of, well, yeah, Caldwell County's pretty good, but can they keep it going? After you win 2 straight, the bullseye is pretty much on your back now.
No doubt about it.
I mean, going into that tournament, Caldwell County is the only team that's been ranked in the second region this year. The Tigers are clearly the favorite, but there are some other good teams. Christian County has gotten better. Henderson County has gotten better. Union County dealt the Tigers a 1-run loss.
They did. Didn't play our best baseball over there, but
true.
But still, you
Union County,
got to play good baseball to win.
Don't take the Braves for granted because they've been in the regional championship game the last 2 years as well.
Exactly.
But I think the Tigers, that loss on Sunday up at the All-A Classic State Tournament to Somerset 2-1, probably left a bad taste in their mouth. Hopefully they can use that as motivation for the rest of the season. I did not think the Tigers played poorly at all up there. I thought they played well.
I did too.
I think sometimes playing well is not enough. Sometimes when you play a very good team, you have to play a great game to get out of there with a win, and sometimes even that's not enough. And I think that's what we saw up there was 2 really good teams. And we talk about it all the time that when the Tigers have Shane Burns on the mound, they feel pretty good about it. But you have to realize when you play some of these teams that make it to these state tournaments, they have their own Shane Burns, or they may have a couple of them.
And I'm telling you, that pitcher for Somerset matched Shane pitch for pitch, and really I thought was the story of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the catch at the end that ended our bid to potentially win it. I mean, that was a heck of a catch.
Well, that was the thing. When that ball was hit, I thought, wow, the Tigers have pulled this one out.
They were coming to home plate, I think.
That was a 2-run single to win the ball game, and the kid just made a heck of a play.
He did.
That's what I'm saying. You can sometimes play well and not win the game, and I think that was the case the other day. It was just Somerset was really good.
But that makes baseball the game that it is over
all
games, I think.
That's the beauty. I mean,
it's just and you can't even put there's a science to it. There's a magic to it. I mean, a game can turn on one single little deal.
And Shane pitched well up there against Somerset.
Great game.
He probably has about 3 pitches he wishes he could have back.
Sure.
But he threw, 110 pitches or something like that? I mean,
11 strikeouts, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
pretty good game for anybody.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, and that is tough. 110 pitches in high school, that's a long outing.
But we knew it was going to be a game like that, I think. I think both teams knew it was going to be a game like that. And as a matter of fact, Al Willman, our buddy from the Paducah Sun, came up to Gary Goodacre and I before the game. We were sitting behind the dugout watching the game, and, that's where I was shooting from. And Al said, what's it going to take to win this game? And Gary and I are like, first team that scores.
Well, yeah.
And that's basically what happened. I mean,
that's basically what happened. And, you see a 2-out walk, and you just sort of go, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And that happens in baseball. But you hope you can get out of it. But, boy, with 2 outs, I mean, they hurt us with 2 outs.
Well,
and,
the 2-out walk was a killer. And then I think it was an 0-2 pitch that Shane just left up a little bit. And the kid hit it hard. That happens. I mean, it's baseball, as we like to say. If you're a baseball fan, you come back to that a lot often. It's baseball.
But as Bob and I discussed, afterwards, there's more baseball to be played, and these Tigers. And we expect them to make a good run in the district and the region. Same with our softball team as well. They're starting to play and get fine-tuned for this stretch run.
Well, with the softball team, the regional should be really interesting. I think Caldwell County and Madisonville should both get out of the district and go to the region. When you go to the region, Christian County has looked really good lately.
Yeah.
Trigg County took them to extra innings the other day.
Yeah.
Madisonville has struggled a little bit lately. Webster County beat them. So before that, I had Christian County as the favorite, Madisonville right behind them. They're the defending state champions.
Yeah.
I mean, then I had Webster County and Caldwell. You might have to push Webster County up a little bit, and now with Caldwell, you might have to throw Trigg County in there. Crittenden County is right there. I mean, I think there's a lot of teams that could really cause some problems.
There are, and I think these teams.
Henderson County is getting better.
Yeah, but as it should be, these teams are improving as the season goes on, and that's what kind of makes these tournaments. districts and regional so much fun
Yeah.
because on any given night, if you're not on top of your game, you're going to get beat.
And if you look at baseball, I think Caldwell County is the favorite. I mean, I think you have to call Caldwell County the favorite.
Yeah.
Christian County's gotten better. I'd put them right behind them. Henderson has gotten better than when the Tigers saw them early in the season. Union County is right there. I like Trigg County's team. If there's a dark horse in the region, I think it's Trigg County.
Talking baseball.
Yes, baseball now.
Yeah.
I think Madisonville could slip up
yeah.
on somebody.
Yeah.
So, there's no easy
There's not.
there's no easy ride there. But the great thing is there's a tournament. They will play games.
They'll take it. They'll do
Whoever
that.
wins advances, and
It'll happen on the
at the
field.
end of the week, we'll know who the champion is.
Yes, and we certainly wish them luck. Again, we'll be on the air this afternoon to bring you the Trigg County baseball game today from the VFW ballpark. Bruce Moose chimes in and says Tressler Park. End of discussion. As we were talking about the ladies softball field, but what about these tennis teams, Todd?
Well, that's what I wanted to get to. That we've had a really busy show, and that's great. I don't want to look over what the tennis team. The Lady Tigers went 15-0 during the regular season. We really figured they were going to win the region,
Right.
but you never know until you get there and do it.
A lot of good teams up there.
Yeah, and just 3 champions for Caldwell County. The girls winning the team title. Belle Englebright now back-to-back second region
And that is
champion.
my niece, everybody.
Yeah.
Very, very proud of my niece.
And she defeated teammate Maddie Morgan
Yes.
in the championship.
You had 2 Caldwell County players in the championship.
I mean, that's pretty special right there.
It
and
is.
I think Maddie got the sportsmanship award.
Yes.
So even better. Chasey Phelps and Hannah Dixon, back-to-back doubles champions. Ben Knight defended his regional championship on the boys singles bracket.
And,
so,
a gritty match because that second set went to 7-5, I think.
well, and Ben lost some matches during the season,
He did.
and he was the number 3 seed, I believe, going into
I
the
think that's
tournament.
right.
But I think he had some shoulder problems during the
Yes.
year, and maybe that led to a lot
And
of
battled
that.
through it to become
But,
the regional champ.
he was able to come back in the regional tournament, and I think a lot of people had just assumed that the Nunez kid from Henderson was going to win that thing, and it didn't really happen that way.
No, it didn't. And of course, our entire tennis teams, they work hard when it's not tennis season. Our coaches, give them kudos. They have those kids conditioning. They have them, hitting tennis balls in the off season. And I tell you, this Tiger tennis is become formidable in the second region now.
Well, what do I say here every week? Don't take all that for granted, that the success Caldwell County has in sports, I think maybe it gets overlooked or again, just taken for granted because there are a lot of schools that don't have that opportunity. And here we're talking about regional tennis champions, Caldwell County baseball being the 2-time defending second region champion, the softball team certainly being in the mix for a championship this year. Just one of those is a sports season for some high schools.
Exactly.
And here we're running down this list, and we had a football team that was ranked in the top 10 and made it to the regional championship game. Just all those sports, and we had kids. We had a state champion in wrestling this year.
We did.
A 3-time, really 4-time state champion just left this room earlier from Caldwell County.
Yes.
We all complain sometimes that maybe the KHSAA setup is not fair, where only it's one class, and no matter how small your school is or how big your school is, you're competing against each other. Throwing that out, and just taking into account that Caldwell County is probably more of a middle-sized school. I don't think it's really a small school, but when you look at the success it has going up against those things, it's pretty remarkable.
It is.
I mean, I'm trying to sit here and think, of a comparable school that has had the success Caldwell County's had, not just the last 5 or 10 years, but through the years. And I can't really come up with anybody because typically when you see a smaller school have success, it's a private school or it's a smaller school that's in a bigger area. Not all small schools are equal. If you have a small school in Hopkinsville, or if you're a Murray and you're in Callaway County, which is, largely populated, that's different than being, Lyon County, which is just a county, or Crittenden County, or even Caldwell
Yeah,
County, which is just that
you
one
don't
county.
have the athletes to pull from. You
Yeah,
just don't.
I hope all that made some sense.
I think so. I think it did. I think people following your drift, Griff.
But again, just don't take for granted that success
No.
because it's really tough to attain, and it's really tough to stay there once you get those things.
It is, but what a run for the tennis team! And then, of course, now that they're going to advance to those players.
Yeah, the state,
to state. And I think Maddie, if the runner-up, she'll get a bid at state too. Won't
Yes.
she? Yeah. So
Yeah, anybody who made the semifinals
semifinals,
in the region.
they will
Yeah.
move on to the state level. So we still have the tennis state championships. Those are next week, I do believe. Is
Yes,
that right? Yeah.
in Lexington.
In Lexington. So good luck, congratulations, kudos to Caldwell County Tiger and Lady Tiger tennis.
I want to
Great
say
job.
this is 4 regional championships for the Lady Tigers in the last 6-7 years. I think there was a run there where they won 2 or 3 in a row, and
Yeah.
it was actually in the paper. I made that graphic myself and can't remember. That's
Well, every once in a while we sleep, and we forget things,
Yeah.
and we go off the top of our head. You've got a lot better memory than I do. I mean, I'm amazed at some of the stuff you can reel off the top of your head. But
and the Tigers, Caldwell's boys have won the region, the second region tennis championship. So there are several of those
there have been.
regional championship trophies out at CCHS.
There certainly are, and great little program, and it keeps on rolling. So congratulations, guys.
And there's more news. And any other day, this would have been the stuff we
the
would.
main news.
Yeah, this
yeah.
would have been the stuff we led with. But again, a whole lot going on today, and it's
I
been
bet it
great.
starts with an R.
Realignment.
Yeah. Is that
Well,
right?
yeah, they finally finalized the new alignment plan for football for 2019 through 2022. So before it gets confusing, just this fall, everything's the same
Stays
as
the
it's
same.
been. We're still, Caldwell County is a Class 3A football school this fall. The district is the same as it was last year. The schedule is the same as it was last year.
Just reversed, just flipped.
Home and away is flipped.
Yep.
This begins in 2019 when Caldwell County will go back to Class 2A. As we suspected, the first district will be Caldwell County, Ballard Memorial, Fort Campbell, Mayfield, and Murray, which we're pretty familiar with all of those teams. At one point or another in the very recent past, Caldwell County has been in a district with all those teams. As a matter of fact, it's been a little bit longer for Mayfield, but longtime Caldwell County football followers will certainly remember all those games against Mayfield and all those district games and all those years that Mayfield pretty much single-handedly kept Caldwell County out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Back when only the district champion went, and even when the district champion and runner-up went, it seemed like Mayfield was always there. And Fort Campbell had their heydays back in those teams, back in those years. And I remember one year where Caldwell County was ranked 3rd in the state in Class 2A and couldn't get out of the district because Mayfield was ranked number 1 and Fort Campbell was ranked number 4. And the Tigers lost a close game to Fort Campbell and couldn't even go to the playoffs because of that. So, there's a lot of history in that new setup. And again, it's going to probably
of good rivalries.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Caldwell and Mayfield. I'm guessing a lot of years.
Yeah.
Originally I was a little excited because I looked at that second district, and District 2 in the new setup is Butler County, Hancock County, McLean County, Owensboro Catholic, and Todd County Central. And my first thought was, well, that's great because that means we don't have the potential for those crazy long playoff games or playoff trips. Poor Hart County and Adair County have made that long trip to Princeton.
Yes.
What, 3 years in a row now?
Yeah, and that's a long way
Yeah,
for those teams.
Elizabethtown has been here twice, and we've
You've been
gone
up
to
that-
Elizabethtown. But unfortunately, the way the new playoff setup is going to be, District 1 doesn't necessarily see District 2.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, in 2019, when everything changes, the playoffs have District 1 against District 3, which is Clinton County, Edmonson County, Greene County, Metcalfe County, and Monroe County.
That's a haul.
That's a haul for the playoffs.
Yeah, that is a haul.
It gets even better in 2020 when it's District 1 versus District 5.
Now, why in the world? Where is District 5?
District 5 is Carroll County, Gallatin County, Owen County, Louisville Shawnee, Trimble County, and Walton Verona.
Wow.
Why?
Who in the world thought that up?
I don't know. I mean, to me, that's nuts.
That is crazy.
I mean, I think it's crazy, especially from an organization like the KHSAA, which says you can't have classes in other sports, and one of its primary reasons is travel concerns.
And then there we go.
And then you're going to have first-round playoff games, in some instances, 1 versus 4 seeds that are going to be blowouts, and you're traversing the entire state to play these things?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm going to avoid a rant and just say I think that's nuts.
Maybe we get our stop by druthers around Greene County.
Yeah, anywhere
Is
around.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Campbellsville?
It's Campbellsville,
Yeah.
so anywhere up in that area you can hit druthers on the way to the football game.
That's only positive I see out of that.
2021 is District 4. That's Danville, Lexington Christian, Somerset, and Washington County. Yeah, in the first round of the playoffs. And then finally in 2022, hopefully we'll all be here and get to see the matchup between District 1 and District 2 in the first round of the playoffs.
So they wait to the last year to keep us close.
So that's the 4-year run coming up. That's the way I read the playoff grid. You know, it's available on the KHSAA website, and the whole
Save your money now,
alignment.
kids, because
I mean
you'll need to fill your tank up a couple times up and back.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can get the number 1 seed. Again, though, Mayfield's there. If you at least get the 2 seed, you get 1 home playoff game. If you get the 1 seed, you can play at home for a couple of weeks and maybe avoid some of that travel. But, yeah, that seems like an enormous amount of travel, you know, from an organization that wants to try to limit some of that. But, hey, it's football. We have 6 classes. Classes are spread out. What can you do?
What can you do?
They didn't ask me before they signed off on any of
They
this.
should ask Gary.
Yeah.
And if those Gary Goodacre, our stat man, and our numbers man. So
Gary has kept stats for the football team since 1998.
That's awesome.
So that's a 20-year run he's got going. I don't think he's missed a game during any of that time. I believe he's been there every game, keeping those stats on the sideline.
We appreciate that. We need people like that. So pretty good at.
And Chris George
same deal.
Drives here from Bowling Green just about every game all season.
Yeah.
Just for the Tiger football game.
And we got to give that Bashir guy credit too. He has helped
and Tyler Bashir helps us out doing stats on the sideline.
One of our new sponsors, Bashir Sawmill, where it's mulch time, and we want you to get out there real quick. I'm going to give them another kudos too. I'll talk about Bashir Sawmill and the mulch is out there. They've got dark natural mulch, $25 per pickup load. Open there 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday on the Dawson Road, just a half mile past City County Park. So also buy standing timber in Timberland, 365-2330 for Bashir Sawmill. Thank them for coming aboard. You ride and ABC Finance as well.
Oh, and you didn't get a chance to chime in earlier when I was talking about the NHL playoffs. Game 7 tonight in Nashville, 7 o'clock on NBC Sports Network. So, you know, we need quick baseball and softball games today so we can kind of check that out.
Yeah.
But it's Game 7.
Do or die.
Yeah, the Predators, won the other night impressively in Winnipeg to force that Game 7. And
the Jets.
Yeah. The former Atlanta Thrashers.
Atlanta Thrashers, yeah.
And the winner, as I mentioned earlier, a quick turnaround. The conference finals start on Saturday. The Vegas Golden Knights, in their inaugural season are in the conference finals, the Western Conference Finals. The Knights await either the Preds or the Jets. The Nashville-Winnipeg winner, I believe, hosts the first 2 games. If it's Nashville, I know they do. I think Winnipeg would as well. Game 1 is Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Game 2 is Monday at 7. Hopefully those are in Nashville.
Yeah. Well, go Preds is all I got to say.
And I read something somewhere that like the last 5 or 6 or 7 Stanley Cup champions all won a Game 7 on their way to the Cup. So, hey, here's the chance for the Predators. So that's all going on in Nashville, and I'll be trying to find a TV later this evening to check in on that. And,
awesome.
And nothing is better. I love all sports. I hate saying one sport or one event is better than any other event, but I don't think there's anything better than a Game 7 in hockey that goes to overtime.
That's probably true.
somebody scores and wins, and somebody doesn't score.
I like
and,
hearing that horn.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite thing. I love the horn in hockey.
Well, we need sound effects on the show.
We do. I'm just not that sophisticated yet. I stay about 3 days behind on everything. So, but man, what a show today!
Oh yeah, it was great.
Thanks to Emma Talley for taking the time to come in here. She's a busy lady, an LPGA Tour professional from right here in Princeton, Kentucky, and she stopped by to talk.
Well, that's
to us.
the thing. We do appreciate the time because
She's busy.
She was trying to take some time off.
Yes.
But she had the qualifier in Dunwoody, Georgia earlier. Then she said she had to go to Charlotte for that photo shoot we talked about during the show. And
4,000 pics.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing that? You're a camera guy. Can you imagine popping off 4,000?
I remember back in the old days when I had a 36-shot roll of film, and that's what I had to shoot a game.
Yeah.
You had to be selective.
You had to kind of
because you had 36 shots, and now with the digital cameras, you pop
Unlimited.
in a card and you've got 3,000 pictures.
There you
And I mentioned on Twitter, if anybody follows me on Twitter this week or on Facebook, that one of the crowning moments of my career was going to a baseball game, a Caldwell County baseball game at Crittenden County one time, and this was back before digital cameras when we actually had rolls of film, and shooting an entire ball game without any film in my camera.
Yeah, that can happen.
One of my favorite moments,
It's
right
kind of
there.
like not having your mic on. So, and I've done that before. Come on in and record something.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Well,
I didn't realize, and I didn't even realize there was no film in the camera until I got back to the office and started to take the roll out, and it popped open really quick, and I was like, "Oh no!"
That's a horrible feeling, isn't it?
And then you've shot the whole game, and
That's a horrible feeling.
you have nothing. So
I've been there, man. I still have dreams about getting myself locked out of the station. And
Oh,
all that
yeah.
stuff. You pop up, you're like, oh my gosh.
or oversleeping.
Yeah, and that can happen from time to time. But man, what a great! Mention Jake Lewis real quick. Of course, he had two fifth place finishes. After the loss of his dad. Funeral services for Bobby Lewis II Saturday at Morgan's, and our prayers and thoughts to that entire family, their race team, the M4 X-Star Suzuki team, and just what a wonderful testament, just testament to, what Jake's dad, meant to him as far as his racing career and the lives that Bobby touched, and just kudos to that whole family and that young man for getting on that bike and doing it.
Absolutely. And again, we go back to what we always say, that whether it's Emma or Jake or whoever, Elijah Sindelar, whoever we have out there playing, it's always a big thrill, at least for me. I mean, to turn on the TV and you see those people and you're like, hey, I know those people. And then it shows their name, and underneath it says Princeton, Kentucky.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So it just gives you chills. I got chill bumps right now. So that's what it's all about. It's like hearing a good song.
But again, baseball and softball home today.
Yes.
There's not many games left in the season, so
go out and support those
now's
Tigers.
a good
Lady
time to go
Tigers.
watch them. And
be a beautiful day this afternoon.
Should be, yes.
Yep. So wear your sunscreen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Our thanks to Emma Talley, especially for taking
Yes.
the time to be in studio this morning. And Todd, another great show. Tune in next Thursday because Todd will have another great show lined up for us. We might even have a top 5 next week. And we certainly appreciate our new sponsors, ABC Finance Company out on the Princeton Plaza on 62 West. If you need a loan, go out and see Sarah, Jody, and Virginia out there. And, of course, David Harden has Dave's Deal of the Week out at U-Ride here in Princeton and Bashir Sawmill. Tyler Bashir, crew, Timmy and company, Johnny and all the folks out at Bashir Sawmill. We certainly appreciate them coming on board. There'll be a few more, I think, coming on board as well. So thank you.
I knew we had no way to work in a top 5 this week, but next week we're going to have a top 5. We just need a subject.
Oh, yeah. I'm leaving that to you, my man.
Oh, thanks.
All right, that's going to do it for the Sideline Report at 10:07 here at WPKY The Tiger. My thanks to Todd Griffin. Be sure you pick up your editions of the Times Leader, both Wednesday and Saturday, the best sports coverage around, and some good news coverage as well in our Times Leader here in Princeton. And Todd, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's the quickest hour of the week right there. It just flies by.
It certainly does. Have a good week, my man. We'll see you next week.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right. That's going to do it for us until next Thursday on the Sideline Report. Tying Bright for Todd Griffin. Have a great day, everybody. Join us heading out to Caldwell Medical Center. We'll be out there for their health fairs going on till 1 o'clock. Come on out and get a free screening and check out all the great vendors at the Caldwell Medical Center Health Fair going on till 1 o'clock. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Sideline Report, brought to you by the Times leader, Todd Griffin, in studio to get us up to date on everything Caldwell County sports. So be sure